All right, guys, so we got some news I want to go over real quickly. Basically, this is a notification on the Google Play Store. Sargaxis in Discord sent this to me, so big shout out and thank you to him. But we have a announcement on a Deck of Fate, which you can look at the calendar and see a Deck of Fate coming up Sunday anyways. This Deck of Fate is going to most likely involve Soul Stones. We have a 2x chance for 5 and 6 star on Perfect Souls from Mortal Soul Stones, and then only a 6 star boosted rate for Immortal Soul Stones, which is really weird. But it's lasting for 96 hours. The Deck of Fate is also lasting for 96 hours, so I would assume that during that Deck of Fate, it's going to be Soul Stones to get the points. With that said, you're also going to have at least one other way to earn points. They've done, I think, 3 ways to earn points before, but it'd be awesome if they did Shards, Soul Stones, and then like Champion Training or even Dungeon Divers. That would be great. But the worst case would be Soul Stones plus Shards, because that is just pay to win materials. You probably have brews and champions you could level up to earn points in Deck of Fate versus Shards and Soul Stones, which they always seem to be asking for Shards and Soul Stones. So the whole Golden Week stuff, in case you don't know, real quickly, Golden Week is a 7-day stretch of 4 national holidays in Japan, which doesn't mean much to me, but it does mean for Plarium they can get some more money from us. So with that whole getting more money from us thing, they're going to be having a summoning pool event for Tetsuya. Now, I take that as a Prism Shard event, which if you watch my recent Prism Shard event, I pulled like $300 worth of Prism Crystals, came out with Elva. Elva's an awesome champion, unless you have 14 copies of her. She's a little less exciting. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I pulled the 14th. The previous owner pulled the other 13. So it wasn't as upsetting for me, but it was still pretty upsetting when I needed, I think, half of the champions basically. They would have been unique for me, whereas instead I got Elva. So be careful if you decide to go for Prisms. Hopefully this one's going to be cheaper, but I'm also thinking that they may have a guaranteed legendary. So we'll take a look at Tetsuya real quick. If they had a guaranteed legendary, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Arashi. And this champion, I will do a guide on him, a review on him. If they have him in a Deck of Fate, I will likely go for it, and I'll get a video out for him with some like real-time playtesting as soon as possible. Now, they'll probably have, if they do a guaranteed champion, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a soul event as well for him, but that makes me think, honestly, that is a lot of events going on at one time, because we have a soul event for Artor, which I've fallen behind on this Titan event already, so I'm not going to be going for this as it is. I was wanting to get the Mythical Tome, but honestly, it's not even going to be possible at this point, so I'm not going to do that. But they have this soul event going on. We just finished the Listen Dear path. We're going to have another fusion coming up pretty soon, and then Hard Mode Faction Wars. So I'd actually be kind of surprised if there was a guaranteed champion. But if there was, I would put my money on Arashi or Yumiko. One of those two are probably, maybe Noble. Noble could be it, which, by the way, I don't hate Noble as much as these players do. I think he's actually a pretty decent champion. Now, besides that, let's look at Tetsuya. This is a champion who we know for sure is going to be in some summoning pools, specifically a Prism Crystal event. This dude is so awesome, and the testing from the test server doesn't do him justice. He's awesome over there, but I think on live servers in actual Clan Siege and Live Arena, this is where this champion's going to really shine because of his passive skill, specifically the 3 faction allies, but even these earlier ones are awesome. But this one specifically, all allies are immune to turn meter reduction effects from enemies. So Armand's is not going to steal his turn meter. That is game changing. Fills a turn meter of this champion by 15% whenever an enemy champion takes a turn. If there are multiple champions on the team with a skill, only one will activate. But he has other very interesting skills in his kit as well. I would love to go for him. I would love to get him, but I don't know if my wallet or my wife would approve. But I guess we'll see as the time gets closer. Now, his A3 ability is going to hit pretty hard, steals turn meter, but it's also going to attack all other enemies with 50% turn meter. Steals 100% of each target's turn meter and places True Fear on them for 2 turns. So his kit is crazy. But unlike a lot of faction unity champions, for example, the Dark Elf one, the Dark Elf faction unity champion, Zyklek, is an awesome champion. I used him on test server. He's very fun, very good. But the issue with him is that it's difficult to build a really good Dark Elf team because you just don't have the synergies that would be required to really make a great team. Similar champions, actually a lot of the faction unity champions are difficult to get with multiple other faction unity champions. That is not the case with this guy. With Shadowkin, you have the makings of a great team just in Shadowkin. So your speed booster, if you have her, Shu Zin. Now, of course, not everybody has these champions, but this is awesome. So Shu Zin, if you have her, great champion to throw in. Turn meter booster, very fast. Amazing champion if you have her just flat out. Plenty of times I pick her just in my team, just by herself. I don't worry about the faction unity stuff anyways. But then Yumiko, another champion, easily picked by herself. Very good champion, a lockout. So you have your 2 support champions there. And then you have multiple damage dealers. You have Harima, you have Iyasu, you have Ninja, sometimes in the arena, not so much, but in other content, you can definitely use him in the arena, definitely use him in other content, though you probably won't be using the faction unity champion there. Corrado plus Yumiko, so even more partner synergy stuff. And then, so we have 1, 2, 3 champions there. Your 4th could be a various different damage dealers, or even someone like Lady Kimmy for more turn meter boosting, a champion like Lady Mikage, or if you're doing this for live arena, it could be a different champion that people are likely to ban. So then you have the choice of, okay, do we ban this champion who's going to wreck me? Do we ban the Shu Zin, or do we ban the Tetsuya? Of course, it depends on what their team actually is using. If they're using Armons, then they better ban the faction unity champion, or they're going to be wrecked. But that's a champion who I would really, really like to have. He would be awesome. His reviews, very solid. If they had live arena in here, I think he would be very high up there. But it's going to be a situation where, depending on the champions that you have in your account, will determine how good this champion actually is. Now, if you have these Shadowkin champions and you have them at a pretty high level, you could have the best Shadowkin specific clan siege team in your clan if you pull this champion, which is going to be a big motivating factor for a lot of whales to actually go for this champion. So this golden week is going to be the green week for Plarium. With all this money they're going to be making from this champion, I wouldn't be surprised, because if you include champions like Harima in this summon pool, which I don't know why you wouldn't, she is one of the best Shadowkin champions, then that's going to increase the money a ton from there. But then you're probably going to have champions like Corrado, who for most people are not that exciting. He's not a very exciting champion to pull. But if they were to include Void Legendaries, well, then it just skyrockets the potential money even more. Now, champions like Noble, we could probably keep him out. While I like him a little bit, most players probably don't. Similar thing to Yoshi. Like, Yoshi's good, but not so much nowadays. He used to be good, used to be more popular. He's not as popular now as he was back then. But as far as, if it was a guaranteed, I would say it's probably going to be Arashi. If I get him, I'll do a video on him. But as far as champions in the summon pool, it'll probably be Gentoro, who's a very good champion. Probably be Gentoro, Genzen, Harima, Lady Kimmy, I'm sure. Actually, I guess all the affinity champions. That's typically what they do, right? We had the Sylvan Watchers recently. They didn't do all the affinity. They actually just did the best one, basically. They dropped the Ruarks. Did they do most of them? They may have done most of them. But either way, guys, that's just a quick little news drop there. Basically, get ready for this event. I will do a video tomorrow if the stuff is different, but I got a feeling it's going to be Soulstones plus maybe Shards, most likely not, but then probably Champion Training or Dungeon Diver. Most likely not a gear event, because we have a gear enhancement event going on right now, which isn't going to be finished for another 2 days, basically, and they're not going to let you double up on the points for this. I can almost guarantee that. So I will look forward to a Champion Training or Dungeon Diver. So save your energy. Be careful with this. If you want to go for the Deck of Fate, it may be a guaranteed champion. I wouldn't be surprised. It won't likely be a guaranteed Harima, though that would be insane if it was. It's probably going to be a guaranteed of one of these other champs. And yeah, guys, best of luck if you decide to go for the Prism event. I don't know what else this Google Play announcement would be other than a Prism event. It's a Shadowkin Summon Pool, so they've already done a few like this, so it's definitely going to be a Prism event, which also, I wouldn't do this, but that may motivate some people to buy some of these shards, knowing that he's coming up. But to be honest, I wouldn't even do this. These are so expensive, and you have a chance of getting 1-star champions. That's garbage, trash, not doing it. Legendary, of course, is 100% chance because that's all there is there, which that is cool. That is cool. But for me, just not really that interested. I mean, 400 is what? Let's see. So $50, 400, Temple, what is that? $4 a shard? It's expensive, but I mean, I guess on one side of it, you are getting only those champs. So I don't know. It could be expensive, but if you have a lot of faction unity champions, for me, it would only be one. So what is this? Um, 600 divided by 60. So, of course, 10 there, but it's 40. So 600 divided by 40, we get 15 pulls. Okay, this is better. 60 divided by 15, we're looking at 4 pulls. $4 per shard. $4 per shard, which is expensive. Definitely is expensive. What are the rates on this, though? 45% chance. Yeah, 1 star. That's just so bad. I mean, like, even if it was 3-star up, that'd be better. But 1 and 2 stars are just so poor. You have a 79% chance of getting something basically useless for you. And you can't sell it to get more of these, but you can sell them to get some more coins up there. Either way, guys, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Best of luck, whatever you go for. I'll catch you on the next one.